What's up, y'all? It's Dalton here with ATP, and today I wanted to make a quick video showing Logic Pro users that are looking to start recording how to properly set up a project so that your vocals are in the correct format to be mixed and mastered, so that your song sounds the best overall at the end as well. So to start, obviously go down and click on the Logic Pro icon, and then you'll see in the top left corner that the Logic Pro changed, and you will see File. Click File and go down to New. This will bring up this pop-up screen that allows you to set up a new project. So what you notice first, I do have two things pre-selected just based off of previous projects, but the most important thing in setting up a project, your input is on input 1. You always want to record all your vocals going into input 1, and then obviously for your output, that is what you're actually hearing, so that is what you want to have on output 1 and 2 so that you're hearing it in both ears. So always make sure that's on output 1 and 2. And since this is the track that we're going to be putting the beat on for this specific one, I would uncheck the input monitoring, which just allows you to hear yourself as you're recording. And I would also uncheck that record enable as well. And as you can see, my input and output device are my Scarlett Solo USB, which is the interface that I'm currently using. And then click create, and as you'll see, it pops up this audio track in your project. And since this is the track that we're going to be putting the beat on, you would then go down to your Finder, go into your downloads or wherever it is that you have the beat that you're looking to record over, bring it in and drag it up to the top. So now you'll see that we have the beat in the very top of the project. We have it on that first audio track that we just created. So now what we want to do is we want to create more audio tracks so that our vocals can be all in this area. So then what you would do, go up to this plus icon right above the track names, and that will bring up that previous pop-up window that popped up when you first opened the application. What I always do is I always start off by making 3. That way once you're locked into the zone of recording, you don't have to keep messing around and adding more. The only difference in settings between this track and the previous one that the beat is on is that for this one you want to select that input monitoring. And the reason for that being is that just allows you to hear yourself when you're recording, just so that even if you're trying to warm up beforehand, before you're actually starting the recording and laying some vocals down, if you do select it on input 1 plus 2 or input 2, that is what will cause you to hear it through one ear. And then make sure that your output is still on output 1 to 2. So now you'll see that you have these 3 audio tracks selected, and you'll see that eye is orange. And what that means is that the input monitoring is on. So the only tracks that you would want to be recording vocals on are the tracks that when you click on it, that eye turns orange. I always change the name of the tracks just so I can keep my project organized and I can know exactly which tracks are which later on in mixing. So now the only thing that you have to worry about is your interface. You will see an input gain knob. If it's cranked up too high when I'm recording vocals, once I start clipping, the button will go red to let me know that I'm clipping. But just to give you guys an example of what it looks like when you have your input gain too high or you are clipping vocals, I will show that here. So if you notice, you can see how the white lines of the vocal recording are filling up the whole thing from top to bottom, and they're getting cut off by the top and bottom borders. That is very bad. That means that the vocals are clipping. They'll sound very distorted. They won't be good for mixing and mastering. So what you need to do is obviously turn that input monitoring down. So what I personally do, like I said, I can see my button turn red when I do start clipping. I always speak into my mic at the level that I plan on recording. I always keep going up with my input gain until it does start turning red, letting me know that I'm clipping. And that is when I just start cranking it down just the tiniest of bit, because you do want your vocals to be as loud and as present as possible. And once you have your input gain correct, this is what your vocals should look like as you're recording. If you notice, you can see that I even peaked a little bit. I wasn't recording very well. I was just kind of doing it for the size purposes. I don't know if I bumped my mic or whatnot, but if you can see, the vocals aren't getting cut off by the top and bottom border, but you notice that they're not getting cut off. So that is good. So that is a good vocal track right there. Besides that one peak, that is what the size of your vocals should be. So obviously delete those clipped ones, and these are the vocals that you would want to be keeping. And then the last thing that you can do is you can put some effects on the vocal track that you're going to be recording on so that you can hear the effects as you're recording. For a lot of artists, having effects on does help them perform. On Monday, ATP audio engineer Austin dropped a video on our YouTube, good plugins to have going when you're recording. He did film the video in FL Studio, but the plugins that I have are the same as his. And although he's operating on a different DAW, the if you do have those plugins, they will look the same on Logic. And if you're looking to have them on your project, they will look the same and the knobs will look the same. So you can still watch that video to give you suggestions on what levels to put the plugins to. Even if you don't have the specific plugins shown in that video, the 4 that we recommend are Auto-Tune, EQ, compression, and completely optional reverb. But if you aren't looking to record with effects on, that is completely fine. That is personal preference for some people. And what you would then do is you would click on audio effects, scroll down to utility, and select gain. And when you hit gain, you'll see that it says mono or mono to stereo. And make sure that you select mono to stereo. And then what you would do is I would just raise it up about 4 dBs. That's a good level to where it won't be too loud and it won't take over the beat too much, but it will help your vocals stand out when you're recording so that you can hear any mess ups or you can tell how your delivery is, and it will help you perform your song better. I hope that this video helped you guys out, and if you are just starting on Logic and you're just learning the process of recording vocals and getting into making songs, I hope that this video helped you along your journey, and I want to thank you for watching. Peace.